What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is Legacy Wednesday. Today we are going to go over Feraligatr Prime Keldeo Kyogre-EX deck. Now, this deck can easily be replaced by Blastoise, but today we're going to show Feraligatr Prime instead of Blastoise, since we can play it in Legacy mode. I think it's going to be a lot more fun. So let's go over the deck and let's see what is it going to be about. Now, your main kind of support Pokemon is going to be this Feraligatr Prime Pokemon. It's actually a Prime card. I know right now we see like a lot of EXs and Megas, but Prime is this Feraligatr. You can always tell what a Prime card is because it has this weird kind of, I guess the card like, kind of like coming out of the card, I guess. I'm not sure what these little spiky things are, but they are always on the cards, and that's how you know it's a Prime for the most part. And their text is gold. I think that's another giveaway as well. But Feraligatr Prime has his Poké Power Rain Dance. Now, the good thing about Feraligatr being a Poké Power is it can't be shut off by Garbodor. Garbodor shuts off abilities, but not Poké Powers, so you can constantly use Rain Dance over and over again, which is really, really nice. As often as you like during your turn before you attack, you may attach a Water G card from your hand to one of your Water Pokemon. This power can't be used if Feraligatr is affected by a special condition. So unlike Blastoise, if you're affected by special conditions of Blastoise, you can still use the Deluge ability, but if you're under a Garbodor lock, you cannot use it. But with the Poké Power, you can use it under Garbodor, which is really interesting. But the only downside is you can only attach to Water Pokemon, so you can't play any cool, cute cards like Black Kyurem or Black Kyurem EX. You just have to stick with your Water Pokemon, which is going to be fine. We saw Archestoys win Worlds. The Archestoys deck is a lot faster because it plays like Shaymins and stuff like that, but hopefully you can kind of copy it with Bicycles and other stuff. Alright, so 4-3 Feraligatr Prime. We play 4 Keldeo, the Russian ability, which can be shut down by Garbodor, but I think we're going to be okay regardless. You could play Toe Scrapper if you want to. I opted not to as of right now, but Secret Sword 50, and this deck does 20 more damage for each Water G attached to that Pokemon. So let's say you do Secret Sword. You have 6 energies on you, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So with 7 energies, you can actually knock out an EX Pokemon, which seems like a lot, but it's actually really easy to do, which is crazy to say. You also play 1 Kyogre-EX as well. Kyogre-EX has this really cool attack, Dual Splash. This attack does 50 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. And this means you can snipe off Pokemon. Maybe Weavile or Sneasels before they evolve into Weaviles. You can knock out Tynamos before they evolve into Electrics. Any Pokemon that has like 50 HP or less, you can knock them out with Dual Splash, which is really, really nice if your opponent is playing a setup deck. Maybe, I'm not sure if Tripunch's HP is 50, but I think Duskul's is. So you can maybe knock out Duskul's before they evolve into Dusknoirs, and make it where, you can kind of just destroy your opponent because they can't set up and you just keep dual splashing their Pokemon away, which is really, really nice. So the whole point of the deck is to go really fast, get a Keldeo with a bunch of energies, and start taking knockout. Also, you have an Exeggcute with Propagation. If this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you can put it back into your hand as many times as you want to over and over again, which is really, really nice. So like I said earlier, your main goal is to use Keldeo-EX, Secret Sword really fast, do a lot of damage, and use Kyogre-EX in other interesting matchups, like if they have a low HP Pokemon, you can Dual Splash and maybe take some knockouts that way. Alright, like I said earlier, we play 4 Bicycle to help draw through our deck fairly quickly. Draw cards when you have 4 cards in your hand. That way you can draw to your Water Trees as quickly as you can and start using the Rain Dance as quickly as you like. We play 1 Dowsing Machine to reuse any item card. I know a lot of people opt to play Computer Search, but I think use a Dowsing Machine to reuse Superior, maybe you reuse Junk Arm. Anything on your trainer cards is really, really nice. For Junk Arm, you're going to discard 2 cards from your hand, get any of your training cards like Superior, like Bicycle, and you kind of see how quickly you can draw through your deck when you're using Bicycle, Junk Arm for another Bicycle, Superior for Water Energies. You can keep the momentum going, I guess, which is really, really nice. 1 Level Ball to search out an egg or a Totodile. For the most part, you are going to use for a Totodile turn 1, but then you can Junk Arm for an egg maybe later on. And then once you get the egg, you only have to discard 1 card with like Junk Arm or Superior or Ultra Ball, which is really, really nice. 1 catcher, flip a coin effects, bring a Pokemon off the bench. It's always cool to have a catcher effect. I think it's needed in almost every deck, so catcher is in here, of course. 1 Random Receiver. Just in case we can't find supporter cards, we can use Random Receiver. The only bad thing is you flip over cards, so you hit a supporter card, and then you use it. So sometimes you might hit a Skyla. You could cut a Skyla maybe for a 4th Juniper. That's probably fine. Maybe cut a Skyla for a 4th in. Either is fine, whatever you want to. You could maybe cut the Skylas all together and play like 3 Professor Oak's New Theories. I opted not to as of right now. Just kind of keeping, the standard build of Junipers and Ends, but Professor Oak is interesting. I'm not sure 100% how it works in Legacy, but right now we're going to keep it this way. Rare Candy to get our Feraligatr out. For Superior Energy Retrieval, I've talked about this card a lot, but you discard 2 cards from your hand. If you do, you put 4 basic energy cards from your discard pile back into your hand. So you can just get 4 energies out of your discard pile over and over again. And if you do this twice, you can get 8 energies in your hand and take a knockout on pretty much anybody you want to. 4 Ultra Ball, 3 in, 3 Juniper, 3 Skyla, and 4 Tropical Beach. Yes, 4 Tropical Beach. I think the 4 Beach is needed to help get that turn 1 Feraligatr. Tropical Beach says, once during each player's turn, that player may draw cards until they have 7 cards in their hand. If that player does, their turn ends. Alright, so Tropical Beach probably really needed. And 11 Water Energy. I did have 12, but then I had to cut for some other stuff. And there is Feraligatr Prime. I know a lot of people have not covered this deck, but I think Feraligatr Prime is really cute. Blastoise is probably the better option, just because you could deluge onto a Black Kyogre-EX and use its attack, Black Ballista, for 200 damage to knock out whoever. I think our Verzian Genesect matchup is going to be kind of shaky, but if we get like explosive turn 1 and then a turn 2 follow up, we can maybe just start knock out, the Verzian Genesect and maybe trade fairly. I'm not 100% sure how the matchup goes. It's definitely in their favor, of course, but maybe we can get a win out of it. But hopefully during the deck list, I did have a lot of fun playing this deck. It's always fun to just play these weird legacy decks. It's not even that weird. It's just a really consistent kind of water deck. No lightning energies, no Black Kyogre-EX, 4 Keldeo, 1 Kyogre. It's a pretty good deck. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and let's see the deck in action. Alright, when it gets 9 Slimer playing a Psychic, Grass, and a Colors deck, this could be a Verzian Genesect deck. Like I said, this is going to be a hard matchup, but maybe we can get a really fast turn 1 or turn 2. We did lose the Queenflip, which is unfortunate. Now, maybe they're not playing Verzian Genesect, but the Grass and Psychic definitely is a big indication of it. There is a Totodile, we got a Tropical Beach, a Bike, we get Tropical Beach, maybe get another Totodile. We'll press done. Let's see, what is my opponent playing? They're probably be like, what Totodile? What's going on here? So there is a Druddigon and a Celebi. Okay, interviews question. Gonna look at what top 8 cards of your deck. Choose as many energies as you like. Show them to your opponent. Put them in your hand. I think I saw a looks like a Rescue energy and a I'm not sure what the other energy was, but I'm gonna Ultra Ball, discard the Tropical Beach and the N, and with this, we're gonna grab the Totodile just in case my opponent somehow threatens a knockout. So we're gonna grab the Totodile, put that down, put down the Tropical Beach, and use a Bike to draw 2, and that way a Bike is in our discard pile. We'll play an N. No, let's just use Tropical Beach. Let's see, do we get... Okay, there's a Rare Candy, and we have a Water... We have Rare Candy and Water Energies and an Ultra Ball, so we can get a turn 2 Keldeo. There's a Tornadus coming down. DC to the active. We might see a Clutch, but we can just rush in or anything. And there's... Oh, he's actually going to knock us out. Going to go down to 5 price cards, but I think we're going to be okay. Go Totodile, onto our turn. We get a Junk Arm, so we're going to Rare Candy into the Feraligatr. We are going to Ultra Ball, discard the Tropical Beach, and I guess a Water Energy. We're going to get out a Keldeo. Come to me, Keldeo. Alright. Our egg is prized as well, which is kind of bad. But we'll grab the Keldeo, put that down, use Rain Dance, put a Water Energy on to the Keldeo, and we're going to use N, shuffle both players' hand into the deck, and draw as many prize cards as they have left. And can we find 2 Water Energies or superior? Alright, so we get... Oh, we actually have a really good hand. Did we go crazy and see how many energies we can get on Keldeo? Sure, let's put down another Keldeo, use Rain Dance, put a Water Energy on the other Keldeo, or the only Keldeo. We'll do it one more time, and then we'll use Bike to draw 2 cards. We can maybe play an Ultra Ball. We'll use Bike, almost hit in turn. Draw 2 more cards. There's a Level Ball, and with the Level Ball, we can grab another Totodile. Maybe get another one out as well. The only bad thing is the only card in our hand is a Skyla, but we can Skyla for a Bike, so we're gonna rush in. The rough skins is gonna hurt us for 20 damage, but we'll take a knockout with Secret Sword, do it 110 damage, and we can knock out this Mew next turn as well. So we'll get hurt by the 20 damage from the ref scan, and the rescue energy puts it back into her hand. There's another water energy coming down, and onto my opponent's turn. Here comes a Celebi coming up. Alright, so let's see, the Celebi has the Future Sight and the Leaf Bind. Could paralyze us, but we could double rush in. There's a Chandelure coming down, another Druddigon as well. Dual Ball, Tails, and Tails not going to get anything with the Dual Ball. And let's see what else does our opponent have. I mean, regardless, we're going to Rare Candy to the Feraligatr. Probably just Rain Dance to the active, and there's an energy coming out to the top. We're going to see a Future Sight. They're going to look at the top 5 cards of either player's deck and put them on top player's deck in any order. I wonder who my opponent would decide to choose. My opponent really hasn't played a supporter card, so they could manipulate the top 5 cards of their deck. But let's see what they decide to do. They also have, they could retreat to a Druddigon, which seems kind of weird, but they can make it where if we attack them, we get hit by 20. There's an Eviolite coming down onto the Mew. He actually just going to Tropical Beach. Okay, so on our turn, we get a Superior Energy Retrieval. Alright, so yeah, let's just go for a giant Keldeo. Let's Rain Dance onto this guy. We will Rare Candy into the Feraligatr. We got 2 Feraligatrs out, which is amazing. We'll Skyla for a Bike if there's one in the deck. Okay, there's a Bike left, okay. And we're going to Bike for 3. Maybe get some more energies. Let's see. Alright, Junk Arm, and Ultra Ball. Alright, we'll just go for a Secret Sword for the knockouts. I'm going to do 130. Yep, we'll go down to 4 prize cards. And we get a Rare Candy, which is pretty much useless. We could maybe Junk Arm for maybe another Bike to draw more cards. Too bad Random Receiver isn't our discard pile. Superior only gets us 1 water. There's a gets us. And we have no more cards left in our hand. So Getsa says your opponent shows their hand and they shuffle all their item cards back into the deck, and your opponent takes draws as many cards as they shuffle in. So there's a Sigilyph coming down, which is going to be interesting because Sigilyph does have that psychic ability, the safeguard ability, making it where we can't hurt it. A Flowstone to the active, retreat to this Sigilyph, and we're going to see it pass. Alright, so we might have to attack with this Feraligatr, use Hydro Crunch. It doesn't actually knock it out, it only does 60 damage. There's a Hypno, Toxic Laser coming down. But next turn we can just maybe use Beach, draw some new cards. We do have Catcher as well, so maybe get lucky on a Catcher heads. Maybe bring up that Shaman. It is kind of the scary card. Rocky him into Chandelure. The Shaman has Revenge Blast, does 30 more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken, which is kind of scary. We might just see a Beach from our opponent. Alright, so Poison hits us for 10. On to our turn, what do we top deck? And there's a Junk Arm. Alright, so I'm just going to rush in, and we're going to use Tropical Beach to draw a whole new hand of 7. Thank you, Tropical Beach, for saving us. Alright, so there's the Catcher. We have a Pokemon, another Junk Arm as well. So we should be okay. Like, we have 2 chances. So you have like a 25% chance of missing. Interviews question, gonna look at top 6 cards. Is it 6 or 7? Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make sure. Is it 6 or 7? I'm actually... Oh, 8! I was wrong a lot. But let's see. My opponent might use Psychic. Let's see. Psychic will do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It'll do 90 to our Keldeo, which is not a knockout. It only hit 50 for this active. But yeah, there's a Psychic. Going to do 50. Alright. On to our turn. We get a Water Energy. Alright, so let's go for the Catcher. Heads. Alright, so we're going to bring up that Shaman EX. I think that's the best attacker right now because Revenge Blast could easily knock us out next turn. We will use the Rain Dance. Put a Water Energy, I guess, onto the Feraligatr. And we'll just rush in. We'll put down the other Keldeo, and then we'll just take a knockout. And next turn, we could probably try to bring up the Mew for the last 2 prize cards. So let's use the Secret Sword for the knockout. Okay? Doing 130. Sorry, Shaman. But we'll take 2 prize cards off that Shaman EX. We'll go down to 2. There's a Juniper, and there's a Bicycle. So we have a lot of outs next turn to win the game. We've only played no Junk Arms. Yeah, no Junk Arms. So the Catcher might come in really clutch. There's a Sharon. Gonna draw 3 cards. Okay? There's a town map, going to reveal their prize cards. There's a bunch of different cards in the discard on their prize cards. All right, a Psychic Energy going down to Chandelure, and let's see what else does my opponent have. We'll probably just see a Psychic, but do they have an N or something? Nope, no N. So there's 90 damage, bringing us up to 120. On to our turn, we get a Rare Candy, which is pretty much useless. We're going to Junk Arm, discard. the Skyla and the N. And with this, we're going to go for a catcher. We're going to try to bring up that Mew-EX to take the game. Alright, so catcher and Tails. Okay. We're going to Ultra Ball, discard an Ultra Ball, and a Juniper and a Rare Candy. And with this, we'll probably just grab like a Kyurem or something. Or Kyogre. Sure. Let's let Kyogre shine. So let's grab Kyogre. Put that down. Bike for 3. Okay, so there's a Junk Arm. We can go for another catcher. So discard these two, and let's see, do we flip heads this time or not? And if we don't, we have Juniper, so we can maybe play some more Junk Arms, and there's a heads. So we're gonna bring that Mew-EX, and we are gonna use Secret Sword for the knockouts. Oh, did I do the math wrong? 120, 140. Oh, we're actually not taking the game yet, but my opponent concedes the game. I think we're only do 130, and the Eevee actually would have saved it. We would have been 10 damage short, but we would have played a Juniper. We've only had 5 energies in play out of 12. I'm not sure how many are in discard pile. Yeah, there's 5 on the field. I think there's 1 in discard pile, making it 6. So we had 5 left overall. But we'll see one more game with the deck here in a second. I know this wasn't very exciting, but it is hard to play against games online in Legacy. You play against a lot of random decks, and you know, people don't really have that great of old cards yet. But if you give me a second, we'll see one more game with the deck here in a second, and we'll see what happens. Alright, putting his Pipe Nicholas playing a Lightning, Psychic, and a Dragon deck. I was trying to think what this could be. I don't know. Hopefully an Electro deck. That could be very interesting. But we are going first this time, which is going to be great. Let's see what's going to happen. Hopefully we play against an interesting deck. There's a Keldeo. Ooh, it's actually kind of bad. Because we have to, like, Juniper, discard a Junk Arm. Unless we top deck a Skyla, then it'll be okay. We get Skyla for a beach. Ooh, that actually doesn't work either. Alright, so Obra's done, and let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what is our opponent playing. They could be playing a Rayquaza deck with Tynamos. Okay, there's a Zekrom, okay. So what we could do is we could Catcher. Tails. We can then Junk Arm, discard the Feraligatr and the Rare Candy to grab the Catcher again. We're just kind of burning cards. We're going to play Bicycle, draw some more. We'll put a Water Energy on the active. Catcher. Heads, so bring up the Keldeo. It doesn't really matter. We'll Bike for 3. Alright, there's a Juniper, Totodile. So put down the Totodile. We'll Skyla for the Tropical Beach, and we're going to Beach to draw 5 new cards. And we already have a Rare Candy discard pile. We also have a Feraligatr as well, which is kind of bad. But there is an Ultra Ball, Bike. Maybe we can get it off this turn. We'll see what happens. With my opponent's turn, they draw a card. Alright, there's a Hypnotoxic Laser. Let's see. Do they get heads? And there's a heads. Our Keldeo will go to sleep, but if we find another one, we can just double rush in. There's an Engineer's Disruption, Energy Adjustments, discarding the Lightning, drawing 3 new cards. I'm pretty sure that's what it does. Let's make sure. I can't click my opponent's discard pile. There we go. Discard an energy card from your hand, then draw 4 cards. Alright, so 4 instead of 3. But if they are playing Eels, they can feel their bench up some with the Engineer's Adjustment. There we go. But let's see what else does my opponent have. Will we see a pass where they play down cards and use Tropical Beach? And there's a Fire Energy going to Zekrom. This is a fairly interesting deck right now. So we're going to see a Level Ball. And let's see, does this grab a Tynamo? They could be playing like Raikou Eels and maybe play like 1 Zekrom. Maybe? I'm not sure. Tynamo comes down. And let's see what else. There's an Ultra Ball. Going to discard a Lightning and a Lightning. Going to get out probably another. Okay, an Electric. Okay, this is interesting. If my Kyogre's in the deck, we could maybe go for a Dual Splash and knock out the Tynamo, making our opponent cannot evolve, and we can constantly keep knocking out these Tynamos. So there's Tails. That's kind of bad, but we can still maybe get it. Let's see. There is a Kyogre. Hey, speaking of him, there we go. All right, so we're gonna Ultra Ball, discard Juniper and the N. And with this, we'll grab another Keldeo, so that way we can double rush and retreat. That seems fine. We'll put that down, attach a Water Energy to the active, use Bike for 2. Oh man, if we would have kept the Feraligatr, we would have had it this turn. But let's go for it in. Both players are going to shuffle their hand into deck. Can we hit a Rare Candy Feraligatr? We can't. We can, but we can't. If we had an egg, we could do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rush in, And then I'm just going to Tropical Beach for 1. But next turn we have Junk Arm. We can have Ultra Ball. We should be able to get it next turn. There's a Totodile that we can discard. The only bad thing is now my opponent can't put down an electric to evolve the Dynamo. I was kind of trying to slow him down, but it looks like we did with it. And there is the EO coming down. But I'm still feeling confident. I think we can take this matchup. The only thing that's kind of scary is this Zekrom. It does 150 damage, which with the laser right now will knock us out. And there's an N. Oh no. Gonna get rid of our Rare Candy hand for the following turn. But let's see what do we get off these 6 new cards. There's a Rare Candy and a Feraligatr. Wow, okay. There's a Floatstone going down onto the Keldeo. There's a Verbeek City Gym coming down. And now if my opponent uses this Strong Volt, they'll actually knock us out. Which is going to be kind of hard to deal with. But maybe we can still take it down. And next turn we can go for another, what is it? The Dual Splash. Maybe do 50 and 50 to the Zekrom. Softening up a little bit. Bring it down to 130 HP. Then next turn we can maybe knock out the Keldeo. There's an Ultra Ball discarding 2 cards. Now opponent's not going to have any cards left in their deck. This is going to be interesting. Will my opponent decide to go for a Glinting Claw to try to do 80 damage? There's a Dynamotor. Okay. And we know their only card in their hand is an Electric. An Electros. An Electric. There we go. So we might be tempted. I might be tempted if they send the Zekrom in to try to take a knockout. It might be a little bit difficult because we need a lot of energies. But hey, oh, no, never mind. Just Dynamo comes up. And, yeah. Okay, so pass on to our turn. It's kind of weird that he puts Dynamo in the active spot. He's just basically saying, hey, I don't really care about this Pokemon, just knock it out. And I'll gladly do that, no worries. But we're going to Rare Candy into the Feraligatr. Okay. Let's see. Let's Junk Arm. Discard Skyla and the Ultra Ball. And with this, we'll grab a Bicycle. Yeah, this seems fine. We could go for a Catcher, try to knock out the Zekrom, but I think we have to draw more cards. Oh, we have the Random Receiver, though. Random Receiver guaranteed is an N. Maybe a Skyla, which could be bad. We should have played the Random Receiver first. YOLO, let's go for the Catcher. Random Receiver, let's see, what do we draw off the Random Receiver? And a Juniper, there we go. Alright, so let's go for a Catcher, and let's see, can we knock out this? Heads, there we go. Let's bring up this guy. And let's see, can we do the impossible or not? Let's put down the Keldeo. And let's Juniper. We need a bunch of water energies. Okay. So we can, let's see, so 110, 110, 130, 150, 170. Oh, man, we need a lot of energies. Oh, man. Okay, we're going to Rain Dance. Put a water energy on this guy. How many Junk Arms have we played? We played 2 Junk Arms. I think the better play is just going to load 2 Keldeos. If he does knock us out, we can take a knock out the following turn. And he can't Dynamo to this guy anymore. Oh, he can Rush him Retreat. Well, but too late. We're already attached. We'll just rush in, and we will Seek a Sword for 110. My opponent will maybe take a knockout next turn. They don't have an answer as of right now. They will need a top deck. Like, they can do 150, which is not a knockout. They'll be 10 damage short unless they top deck a Laser or a Juniper or a supporter card. So let's see what they decide to do. There's a Hypnotoxic Laser, so they will take a knockout this turn. There's a Tails, but once we knock, my opponent's going to knock us out. He's only going to get 2 prize cards, and we're going to take a knockout, maybe. It depends on what we draw. We haven't seen a Superior Energy Retrieval yet, which is very interesting. But we'll see the Keldeo coming up. We'll see a Dynamo onto the Zekrom. Okay. Alright, I'm going to put that on that guy. And if we get 2 water energies, we can take a knock on this guy, which is going to be fairly easy. Dynamotor, going to put another lightning energy onto this guy. Because you discard 2 energies with Zekrom, but it's going to be really easy for us to power up the Zekrom. But, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I guess I would have probably powered up the Keldeo. And, okay, so yeah, there's a Strong Volt. Going to discard some energies. Poison Verbeek will knock us out. We'll just sit the Keldeo without the energies, just in case we whiff for some weird reason. So let's go Keldeo. On to our turn, we get an Ultra Ball. Let's Level Ball to get the egg. Alright, so we'll grab the Exeggcute. We will Ultra Ball. Ooh, this is actually kind of interesting. because we can Ultra Ball discard Feraligatr in the egg, and then Junk Arm discard like a Juniper in the egg to bike for 4, but if we don't hit a supporter card, we'll be in trouble. But I guess we can Junk Arm for maybe another Random Receiver, so yeah, I guess that's going to be okay. Let's Ultra Ball discard these two. Oh, no, actually, we'll just grab like a Totodile and then just discard it. That's me being silly. Alright, so let's grab a Totodile. Let's use Propagation. Put the egg back at your hand. And we'll use Junk Arm. Hopefully we hit a superior energy retrieval. That'd be great. So Junk Arm, discard these two. We're going to grab a Bike. We're going to Bike for 2. And let's see, what do we get off the Bike? Show me something good. Alright, so there's 1 Water Energy, a Tropical Beach as well. So I guess the correct play is just to use the Rain Dance, put a Water Energy on this guy. Now the downside is we're going to be out of Junk Arms, so we can't catch anybody anymore, which is going to be kind of sad. But let's use Propagation, and the 4 superior energy retrievals are going to be our ones that are going to be left in our deck. But let's Junk Arm. The 4 superiors are all we're going to have left. So we're Junk Arm, grab another Bike, we'll draw 2 more cards, and let's see, what do we get? Or 3 more cards, sorry. There's a Dowsing Machine, okay, a Water Energy. So we'll Rain Dance 1 more time onto the Keldeo, and I guess we'll just rush in and take a knockout. And we'll put down, no, we won't put down Tropical Beach. We don't want to give our opponent new hand F7. So we'll use Secret Sword for the knockout, and it's going to come down to what does my opponent top deck. Did they draw anything off the 2 cards? They have 1 card for the left to draw 2. We'll take 2 prize cards. There is a Totodile and a Bicycle, alrighty. And here comes Keldeo. Also my opponent's turn. Let's see what's going to happen. We only have 13 cards left, and we still haven't seen a superior energy retrieval, which is kind of good and bad at the same time. There's a Professor Oak's new theory. Going to shuffle the hand into the deck and draw 6 new cards. And alright, let's see, what do they get? Let's see here. I mean, they can like put a new Pokemon, maybe Dynamite a couple times to it, but they can't really knock us out with the Zekrom unless they get a Laser, DCE, Zekrom, and yeah, that's what they need to knock us out. So there we see a Ultra Ball discarding a Life Herb and a Fire Energy for their Rayquaza. So they are playing this Rayquaza, the one that does Dragon, Dragon Burst? But maybe we can knock out, okay, there's energy on there. They can only Dynamotor twice, which is 120, which is not a knockout. So we'll see Dynamotor number 1. And the question is, will he Dragon Burst us at all right now, or is he going to hold on to it? There's another Dynamotor. We could go for another catcher, try to knock out this Rayquaza. Alright, gonna put that guy on there. Okay. And does he Dragon Burst or not? He is, yeah, it looks like he is gonna go for a Dragon Burst. Do it 120 damage, which is not a knockout. Okay, but can we knock it out? Right now we're doing 110 damage. Okay, so on our turn, we get a Water Energy, which is great. We will Rain Dance onto this guy. Alright, so right now we're doing 130, 150, 170, so we need 2 more energies to take a knockout. Alright, so let's see. I still can't believe we haven't played a superior energy retrieval just yet. That's pretty crazy. We have 3 energies in the discard pile. Let's go for a Dowsing Machine, and I'm going to discard a Tropical Beach and a Totodile. And with this, I'm actually going to grab a Junk Arm, which seems kind of weird, but at least we can use Junk Arm for whatever we want to. And then we're going to Bike for 2. Alright, so there's another Water Energy. Still, we have not seen a superior energy retrieval. I don't know if they're all prized, but there is 150. And then, I guess, yeah, we're going to Propagate, go for another Bike, and hopefully we can find 1 more energy. 3, 4, 5, yeah, 110, 130, 150. So let's Junk Arm, discard Tropical Beach and the egg. We are going to grab a Bicycle 1 more time, and let's see what's going to happen. What do we draw into with the Bike for 3? And there's some more Water Energies and our superior energy retrieval. So let's use the Rain Dance, putting a Water Energy on the Keldeo. So right now that is a knockout. That's 5. We'll press done as of right now. So Secret Sword will do 5, 6, 7, or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Alright, and let's prop the other Keldeo as well. Oh, no, don't rush in. Yes, he's fine. We'll put a Water Energy on this guy. And then we'll keep the superior energy retrieval on our hand. And let's use a Secret Sword for the knockouts, taking 2 more prize cards. Now, opponent can attack with an Eel to take a knockout on our Keldeo. but they will need two energy. They will need an energy, yeah, for sure. But there's a superior energy, but there's a Keldeo, and let's see, on to my opponent's turn. Okay, so eels need 3 energies to attack. Oh, actually, yeah, it will knock us out, okay. Alright, so let's see, what does my opponent decide to do? If they don't take a knockout, we could use Seekosaur, and they would take a knockout. There's an Ultra Ball discarding a Lightning and a Life Herb. Let's see, let's look at this Life Herb does real quick. Flip a coin if it has, choose one of your Pokemon, and remove all special conditions and 6 damage counters from that Pokemon. And there's the Rayquaza coming down, but my opponent cannot take a knockout this turn. They did bump our Tropical Beach, and so they are going to be in trouble. They're going to Dynamite once onto that guy, Dynamite once onto it again, but they will have to retreat into an Eel. If they keep Keldeo in the active spot, if they keep Rayquaza in the active spot, we can knock out either one. So probably see a retreat into the Electric, and probably just a pass, but what can my opponent do? I'm not sure. On to our turn, we get an Ultra Ball. We are just going to Seekosaur for the knockout. Let's actually be smart, and let's put some energies down. Yeah, let's Superior, discard Ultra Ball and the Skyla, and with this, we'll get 3 water energies attached to the other Keldeo. In this case, my opponent does play in. We actually have energies back into our hand. So let's, Rain Dance 1 onto this guy. Or we could... You know what? I actually have another play. Let's Rain Dance on this guy. And we'll put my opponent in a weird... Oh, man. So what I was going to do is I was going to Dual Splash, do 50 to both Eels. And what we can retrieve for 2, have another Superior Energy Retrieval next turn. So if he does knock out our Kyogre, we can then, Energy Retrieval onto this guy for the knockout. We have a Juniper left in our deck. And that way, if he does end us, we at least get 3 instead of 2. And if he does somehow catch up our Keldeo for the knockout, we would use the Kyogre, take our last 2 prize cards, because they'll do 50-50, then another 50-50 for 100 damage. And there is the Feraligatr Prime Keldeo deck. I mean, this deck is really fun. We really didn't play against that many strong decks, but like I said earlier, Legacy is kind of weird right now because a lot of people don't have that many good cards online. And a lot of people are playing it now. I keep playing against like a lot of random decks, but hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed Feraligatr Prime. I've had a lot of fun playing this deck and showcasing how strong it is. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Wait, do we have a bonus wheel reward? Hold on a second. And no, we don't. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Alrighty, bye. Alright guys, just want to give a quick shout out to our 2 sponsors, 60 Cards and Yeti Gaming. The links are down below to their websites. Make sure you go check them out. Alrighty.